Welcome to Nourish Your Lymphatic System After Breast Cancer and Love How You Feel. 5 simple steps. I am guessing you are watching this video because you want to feel more alive, more energized, more vital. Maybe you are now or have been at some time in your life somewhere on the cancer journey. And you're wondering if what you're feeling in your body, whether it's swelling, pain, tightness, or fatigue, is normal. I'd like you to take a moment and feel into the place where you had your cancer surgery or radiation if you had radiation. You can do this exploration internally or by resting a hand on the actual location to feel it from the outside. Just take a moment to sense in there. My clients will typically use words like tight, achy, strange, swollen, bruised, or numb when they sense into this area. I know many of you are watching your relationships being affected by your health. You may be missing the ability to get out and do the things you love with the energy and focus that you want. Maybe deep down you doubt whether you can feel better than you do right now. Today I am excited to get you really comfortable with a simple 5-step manual drainage sequence you can begin to use daily to nourish your lymphatic system and immediately feel better. First, we will get acquainted with the lymphatic system, how essential its free flow is to your vitality and your well-being. Then we'll take a deep dive into lymphedema. What is it and how it impacts your lives as women who have personally experienced cancer. Today is about shining the light of solutions on the nagging symptoms that are interfering with a sense of well-being in your body and in your life. I am also going to invite you to schedule a 30-minute Vital Lymph Solutions call with me at the end of this video, and I'll tell you more about how to take me up on that offer as we approach wrapping up today. I am Vanessa Hemingway. I've been working in the healing arts for nearly 30 years. I started in my early 20s when I moved to California from the East Coast, first as a massage therapist and movement educator, and then earning my master's degree in occupational therapy, and finally my specialty certification in lymphatic therapy almost 2 decades ago. It has been both a great love and a deep honor to serve people touched by critical illness, whether it was HIV/AIDS early in my career or in these last 20 years, a cancer diagnosis. I have had so many incredible teachers along the way. Many of them have been my patients and clients, and almost all of them have practiced together with me some version of what I'm going to teach you today. And in my memory, not a single one got all the way through today's lesson without coming at least a few steps closer to finding comfort in their body. I want to tell you a little bit about Rita. When Rita arrived in my office, she told me right away she was only here because her doctor had sent her. Frankly, she had done her research, and with only one node removed, she thought her risk for lymphedema was very low. She explained to me that her type of cancer, caught early, treated with limited exposure proton radiation therapy and no chemo, made our meeting more or less a waste of her time and mine. Right away, I loved her intelligence, her strength, the power with which she sat across from me, advocating for her own well-being. I absolutely agreed with her. Her risk for lymphedema was low, but our meeting, a waste of time, no chance. If she was willing, I would make it worth her while. She was here, so was I. Would she engage with me anyway? Despite her intelligence, maybe because of it, I knew I needed to engage and reach her body, meet her on the sensation level, where our mind knows, where what our mind knows has to give way to all of our experience, our fears, our hopes, our desires, our losses. When I said I'd like to introduce her to manual lymphatic drainage, a sequence much like what we are going to do together today, Rita admitted to me that she had not yet touched the area of her surgery and her radiation. In fact, she had not looked at it. If her fingers brushed against her breast scar when she was getting dressed, there was a ripple of nausea. She got undressed and into bed with the lights off. Her spouse hadn't seen her breast either. It had been 3 months since her radiation completed, and they hadn't yet returned to sensual or sexual intimacy. Honestly, she told me, we might just let that go. I don't even know if I miss it. Rita's risk for lymphedema was very low, but her risk for limiting her life and her ability to return to joy and well-being was very high. Whether you are a year or more post-cancer treatment or are in the midst of it, whether you're experiencing a recurrence or a new cancer diagnosis, whether you've actually been diagnosed with lymphedema or don't know if you have it, or maybe you're watching this video because a loved one is somewhere on the cancer journey and you want to be able to ally with them, you are in the right place. Today, I want to give you an experience of loving, healing touch from yourself to yourself, directed in a very specific way with a simple manual lymphatic drainage sequence you can begin to use daily to feel better immediately. Welcome to 5 steps to nourishing your lymphatic system after breast cancer. What is lymphedema, and what is the role of the lymphatic system in vital health? Let's consider a river flowing through a beautiful landscape. Imagine that your lymph system is that gently flowing river. In a healthy situation, the river flows smoothly and gracefully, keeping the landscape nourished and vital. However, in the case of lymphedema, or even active or the results of cancer treatment, it's as if there can be these small dams and blockages along the river's path. These blockages disrupt the natural flow and cause the fluid to pool and create swelling, much the way a river when it overflows its banks. Just as the river nourishes and sustains its ecosystem, it's important to ensure the lymphatic system flow freely to maintain the health and balance of your well-being. Cancer treatment can create those dams and blockages in your lymph system. The most common disruptors are surgery with lymph node removal, radiation therapy, especially targeted region-specific to the lymph nodes, and in some cases, chemotherapy. Some of you are experiencing these blockages and feeling the physical and emotional toll they take on your lives. Pain, heaviness, tightness, aching, swelling, fatigue, when unaddressed, can lead to missed days at work, missed opportunities for joy and connection with friends and loved ones, less pleasurable sex or no sex, fewer workouts, refused invitations, and the emotional toll is huge. Feeling damaged, vulnerable, isolated, exhausted, angry, and what I honestly hear most often from my patients, I just don't feel like myself anymore. These symptoms and feelings are real, and there are effective solutions. Obviously, the simple 5-step massage sequence I'm teaching you today is not the whole story. Honestly, that is why I created my company, Vital Lymph, to offer customized strategies we build on together to address my clients' unique challenges in real time as they experience them day to day, week to week, month to month, often over a 6-month program that I have designed specifically for them. But today, the drainage sequence is an excellent first step, and the 30-minute Vital Lymph Solutions call I'll be offering you is going to be a terrific second step. I am wondering what your biggest struggle is right now with your lymphedema or on your cancer journey. Over the 20 years I've been doing this work, I ask this question a lot. It is a living question, and I have heard a lot of different responses, and those responses change from the same person month to month. And also, many of the responses I get to that question are the same. Rita's answer was that she wasn't struggling, or at least she wasn't going to let the struggle get the best of her. Mostly, she told me she was angry. The tightness she felt on the side where she had the biopsy and then the partial mastectomy, the achy, bruised feelings she sometimes got in her armpit, she could pretty well ignore all that. But the anger, actually the word that she used was rage, this was something she didn't know what to do with. And sometimes she started crying for no reason. And it could happen anywhere, pretty much at any time. Okay, so maybe Rita was struggling, but she was pretty sure, sorry, something just fell. She was pretty sure that what she was experiencing didn't have anything to do with her lymphatic system. Would she trust me enough to get on my treatment table? Oh boy. Just the invitation made her start to cry, which was infuriating for her. But yes, she would lie down. That first day together, I began with Rita a version of what I'm going to share with you today. There were a lot of tears. Rita told me later that in those early days when we first started working together, she was afraid that if she really let herself feel again, the tears would never stop. Her beautiful brain knew that was ridiculous. A person could not physiologically cry themselves to death. But the feelings beneath the rage, the fear, the anxiety, the grief, were too big to be hers alone. They must be her mother's, her sister's, her ancestors', maybe humanity's. And she didn't think she had the capacity to feel all that alone. But of course, she wasn't alone. These struggles brought forward by the cancer journey, by really any healing journey, are real. And there are tools and practices and wisdom tested over years and with many different clients for their effectiveness that are designed and tailored to relieve the stress, support the overwhelm, nourish the feelings and the tissues, and create a sense of well-being in your body and in your life. Again, it's why I'm going to offer you that 30-minute one-to-one Vital Solutions call. You don't have to feel this way. I have so many tools to help you feel better. So let's begin with one of these tools, one of many possible empowering self-care techniques I have to offer you. Self-manual drainage in 5 simple steps. I call this a loving good morning and good night to your body. And that is because I do invite my clients to practice this sequence. Today, it's going to take us a little time for you to get really comfortable with it. And I want you to leave this video feeling confident that you know the steps. But once they are yours, 3 to 4, maybe 5 minutes, this sequence will take you. and to start the morning skin on skin, giving yourself that loving good morning, and to end the day and get into bed again, skin on skin, and offer yourself a loving good night is such a profound and nourishing self-healing practice. Lymphedema is a lifelong risk for women after cancer treatment. We know that about 1 in 8 women will get breast cancer. About 1 in 5 of those who undergo treatment for breast cancer will get lymphedema. These are astounding numbers. And the lymphatic system has an elegant capacity for repair. It thrives on the support that we can offer it. This practice, this 5-step drainage sequence, is an opportunity for you to take an active role in your own well-being. By draining areas of congestion, you are not only going to feel better, you will actually be making yourself healthier. By assisting your lymphatic system in its vital job, eliminating toxins and waste products, sending immune cells to defend against illness, and keeping inflammation at bay. All right, so let's begin. I would love for you to become very comfortable. This practice can be done either seated or lying down. It could even be done standing in the shower, but I'm going to invite you today to get very comfortable and feel very supported. Manual drainage always begins with the breath. There are 4 principles in manual drainage, and one of these is that we clear what we call proximally, which means close in the body. The extremities would be considered distal. So we start in close. I think of the analogy of like we're emptying these buckets, so that then as maybe we begin to empty the breast, chest, side body, or the arm, we have an empty bucket to receive that swelling. Diaphragmatic breathing, breathing into the belly, engages what I call the lymphatic engine, the diaphragm muscle. The lymphatic system does not have an organ like the heart that the blood circulation has. It is propelled by our deep belly breathing and our skeletal muscle, our movement. So some of you already breathe into your belly or have a practice of belly breathing. It's extremely soothing and relaxing to the parasympathetic nervous system. So if this comes easily for you, just begin the practice. You want to inhale and let the belly expand, and as you exhale, pull the belly gently in toward the spine. If this does not come easily for you, you are not a natural belly breather, I'm going to invite you to focus on your exhale. Do a normal inhale, however that is for you, and on your exhale, pull the belly gently in, like you're going to zip up a pair of tight jeans. As you let go of that pulling of the belly in with your next inhale, the belly will typically expand and fill with your breath. Then you'll exhale and gently pull the belly button in toward the spine, zipping those jeans. And on the inhale, you'll release that and let the belly fill. Go ahead and practice that. If you were to go on my website and look at the write-up I have about a simple manual lymphatic drainage sequence, much like what I'm teaching you today, practically exactly like what I'm teaching you today, it will suggest doing the breath 10 times. It will suggest pretty much every stroke I teach you, we do 10 times. 10 times is sufficient. If you do these practices 10 times, the breath 10 times, the next movement 10 times, you're getting a treatment. Can you do more? Absolutely. So if you've been breathing here for a while, go ahead and let it go. If you haven't yet done 10 times, keep going till you get your 10 in. All right, and that is a very profound beginning to proximal clearing out this bucket in the middle of the body. The next place we're going to go is the neck, and there's a couple of ways that you can do this. So I'm going to teach you the first way, which is with 2 hands, And you're going to cross the hands at the wrists. The fingers on both sides are together like little paddles almost. Start at the base of the ears. The direction of the flow, the pressure, is down toward these collarbones. And at the bottom, as you reach those collarbones, you are stopped by those bones. You do a little scoop toward the throat. So you can imagine this is almost like a letter J. You start at the base of the ears, you come down, and then you do that scoop of the J at the base. All right? So pulling down and forward. I said there were 4 components to manual drainage. We start proximally. We're still proximal in this stroke, but we are also directing the stroke. There's always a direction that we're sending fluid in manual drainage. Right now, it is toward what's called the subclavian veins, and those are just beneath these collarbones, subclavicle, subclavian. Another way to do the stroke, if it's hard to use both hands or crossing the wrists over the chest doesn't feel comfortable, another way is to use one hand. The web space becomes, the placement is at the throat, the thumb on one side, fingers on the other. The web space doesn't press into the throat, no pressure on the throat. The pressure is on either side of the throat, down the neck, toward the collarbones, into that little hollow at the base of the collarbones. And you're stroking down and a little stroke in toward the bottom. Beautiful. Good. And again, if you've done 10 of these, you're good to go, but you can always do more. I love the single-handed technique. It can be either hand, partly because for many people it's very easy, and also it's very socially acceptable. You can be in your car in traffic and be doing this. You could have done your belly breathing, a few of these strokes, and you've given yourself a clearing. You could be in a meeting and be stroking the neck, very normal looking. Okay, so you've just completed 2 of the 5 steps. The belly breathing, clearing at the neck, taking the lymph to where it dumps into the bloodstream at the subclavian veins. Okay, the next place you're going to go is the armpit. I'm going to encourage you to do it on the side where you had your cancer, and if you had radiation. If you had bilateral involvement, you would ideally do this on both sides, in both armpits, and clear both breasts, chests, and arms. For the purpose of this video, we're just going to do one side. I would recommend, if you're just doing the one side, that and you have bilateral involvement, that you choose the side that you feel like gets the most heavy. Usually it's not completely equal for people. They might have had more nodes removed on one side, they might have had radiation only on one side. For today, do that side so you get the most benefit. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate this by putting my arm up over and supporting it on my head. This can be unavailable to some people because this area is tight with scar tissue or for whatever reason. And so you can absolutely do this with the arm down or propped on a pillow or a countertop. I'm going to show it for the ease of demonstration with my arm up. Some of you may be so comfortable that you're letting your eyes close, you're really relaxing into this. You can just look at what I'm doing for a moment and then let those eyes close again and get into the movement. All right, so I'm going to take my hand, and I really consider it like a paw or a paddle. I don't have individual fingers, and I'm going to place it right where I would shave or put deodorant if I did those practices, and I'm going to stick it there like it's glued there. It doesn't move around. I'm not, it's just boom, in that armpit. And the direction of my pressure, because remember, the lymph fluid always flows in a direction, is going to be up and in toward that area we just cleared at the neck. So I'm going up and in toward the neck, all right? I'm almost doing a circular movement, but there's only one part of the circle that's active. I want to just press up and in toward the neck, and then the rest of my circle is a release. So I don't want to pull the fluid back down. I just want to push it up toward the neck and release. Up toward the neck and release. If my arm is down, I just kind of karate chop into that armpit, up and release. Up and release. If there's a big hollow in the armpit, sometimes after axillary dissection, this can get very deep, and there's kind of a big muscle here, and maybe it's taut, and it's hard to get your whole hand in there. It feels like you don't make contact. If that's the case for you, go ahead and use the flat fingertip part of the hand, but just know that you're trying to get as much surface area, and there's no pointiness to this, okay? Up and in toward the neck. Beautiful. And again, you've probably done many more than 10 times, and that is just fine. 10 is a minimum, okay? So that's the third step of our 5 steps. We have the belly breathing, clearing at the neck, and then our axillary treatment, up and in toward the neck. Beautiful. The next place that we're going to go, these next 2 places, breast, chest, if there's no breast, and side body, that's one place, and the arm. These 2 can be done in any order. You could choose to do the arm first and then the breast, chest, side body, or do the breast, chest, side body, and then the arm. It doesn't matter. Both areas you're going to drain to the armpit, the bucket you just emptied. For the purposes of the video and so that we can all be together, I'm going to suggest that you clear the chest, breast area, and the side body first. The image that I want you to have, adjust myself a little bit here, and adjust the camera, maybe bring it down a tiny bit. The image I would love for you to have is that you've just dipped your hand into a little pot of beautiful blue finger paint. And I want you to imagine that as you're doing these strokes on the breast, chest, side body, that you are painting everywhere from below the clavicle down to the belly button, okay? And all the way to the side body, and even wherever you can reach in the back body. And you're going to paint these areas. It doesn't matter where you start. You can start at the breastbone. Basically, you're going to bisect down here where the sternum separates the 2 breasts, and it's all the way. If I'm doing my right chest, breast, side body, I'm gonna start. I could start there and go into the armpit, covering every place with that blue, beautiful blue paint. My hand is soft and a lot of surface area. The pressure is like I am stroking my cat or my dog with firmness, but it's a gentle stroke. I'm not pressing super hard. If you're getting tired out doing this, you are working too hard. Now, I will say my arm is getting a little tired hanging out in my head, so I might rest it down and still, maybe put some pillows up to prop it and allow that, all right? But everything goes to the armpit. If I pull it over to the side, then I'm going to scoop it up to the armpit. If I'm pulling, you kind of see me sort of pulling it to the side and then up. Doesn't matter exactly how you do it. It's really quite flexible. The lymphatic system is so elegant. It will take your movements and run with them. But just make sure that you completely bring everything eventually to this bucket in the armpit, okay? That is the chest, breast, side body. It is now colored a beautiful blue. And then you're going to do the same thing with the arm. So when the arm's overhead, I dip again my hand into that blue paint, metaphorically, and I'm going to start pulling and painting the arm, always in the direction of pulling everything down into the armpit. I'm going to go to the elbow, and I am, there's pressure. It's not nothing. But again, it's like a nice firm pet to my cat or dog. And I'm going to do the whole hand. I don't want any spot not covered in that gorgeous blue. Every finger, all of it, stroking down. And if this area is swollen, that 10 strokes goes out the window. You spend as much time as you want in these swollen areas. If you only have time for 3 or 4 minutes before you know you're going to fall asleep, if it's nighttime, or you're waking up in the morning and you know you're already running a little late, 10 strokes. Great. Beautiful. All right. So that was 5 steps. We had the breath that we began with. We then did our neck clearing to the subclavian vein. Then we went to our armpit and cleared. Then we did our breast, chest, number 4, our side body. And then the last number 5 is our arm. Okay, so I kind of cheated here. There's actually 8 steps, but I call it a 5-step sequence because the next 3 steps we are doing is going back out the road that we came in on. All right? So it makes physiological sense, and because you don't have to remember 3 more steps, and 5 steps just sounds so much more possible than 8 steps. I'm choosing to tell you it's 5. But here we go. We do want to end with the last 3 steps that we began with in reverse order. So we've now brought everything to the armpit. So you can imagine this armpit bucket is full and we need to empty it. So we're going to do that same movement that we did in step number 3, taking that hand and putting it into the armpit, pulling up and in toward the neck, not leaving the armpit. Hand is glued in here. 10 of these strokes. If it feels really good, go longer, right? And then after we clear that armpit, we go to the neck. However you like to do that, wrists crossed, hands just below the ears, pulling down towards the collarbones and a little J at the end. Down toward the collarbones and a little scoop in at the end. Or my one-handed technique, thumb web space at the throat, pulling down, stopped by the collarbones, down and in. Beautiful. Oh, it feels so good. And then our last stroke or movement or step is the breath. So again, you can either start with that exhale, pulling the belly in as we exhale, and then on the inhale, inviting the belly to expand and grow. Exhale, pulling the belly in. Inhaling, allowing that belly to expand. Keep going with that. A few more of those. This practice of diaphragmatic breathing is an incredibly nourishing practice, a standalone practice actually, that meditators will use, psychotherapists will use with their patients with anxiety to engage that parasympathetic nervous system, the one that's the rest and relaxation responder. There are so many studies suggesting that these practices of deep belly breathing, oxygenating the system, soothing the nervous system are deeply nourishing our lymphatic systems, and the lymphatic system being a part of the nervous system and our immune system, all of it getting nourished, powerfully nourished. Sorry, the lymphatic system is not part of the nervous system. It is part of the immune system, which is affected by the nervous system. All right, so please, if you would, begin to let those eyes open. If you close them, come on back. There's just a little bit more gold I want to offer you here, a few more teachings. What would it be like to start and end every day with just 3 to 4 minutes of this kind of gentle, loving touch? I can tell you from personal experience, it's pretty wonderful. I'm going to invite you to do a little goal vision exercise with me here. If you knew you would experience a deep sense of well-being in your body again, how would that feel? Breathe in a deep sense of well-being. Exhale a deep sense of well-being. Embrace the image or the sensation, however this resonates for you, of vital you, energized you, whole and complete, at home in your body. What is that experience like? We can't always control our health, like with a cancer diagnosis, but we can always support our well-being. I've been promising all of you, I am going to offer you a 30-minute Vital Lymph Solutions call with me before we wrap up, and I am. But first, Rita. The work Rita and I did together didn't happen all in one session. It was week by week, month by month. We had to begin by assessing what she was actually experiencing as a result of her cancer treatment on a physical level, in her body, also emotionally and spiritually. The sensations of fullness in her armpit, that dull, achy feeling she would get in her upper arm, despite her low risk, was in fact the early stages of lymphedema. Discovering this was a huge challenge for Rita, and it left her feeling frustrated and defeated initially. The shame she felt around her surgery scar ran very deep into feelings of rejection toward her whole body and her whole self. She felt cancer had marked her somehow, and her confidence and self-esteem were suffering. This showed up in her social and community life. Dressing up was too much work. Eating at home was just easier than going out. Clothes shopping, something she used to love doing with her girlfriends, was now a depressing waste of time. Even the softest, lightest dresses irritated her scar or just didn't look right. And at home, Rita knew her husband interpreted her not wanting to be touched as her not wanting to be touched by him. This was creating a big distance between them, and she even wondered whether he didn't deserve someone better, healthier, whole. And the tears that seemed to arrive wherever and whenever, Rita had developed some intelligent but pretty impractical strategies to adapt. An old inhaler came in handy, carried in her purse for when she had these sudden weepy allergy or asthma attacks. However, after working together, Rita actually did this with me in what I now call my Vital Lymph 6-month program. Everything started to change. To address her physical symptoms of fluctuating fullness, I provided bodywork tailored to her specific needs. This involved techniques to promote flow and drainage, soften her scarring, and help to alleviate discomfort and manage her early stage lymphedema. Recognizing the importance of flexibility and movement, I introduced modifications to her stretching and exercise routines. These adjustments not only increased her overall flexibility, but they encouraged her lymphatic circulation, supporting her body's natural healing processes. Of course, I couldn't solely focus on the physical aspects of Rita's journey. I understood that her emotional and mental well-being played a crucial role as well. To address this, I incorporated somatic practices and mindset shift strategies into her daily routine. These practices aimed to transform negative self-talk and anxiety into self-nurturance and self-love, empowering Rita to embrace her body and her journey in a more positive mindset. As Rita progressed and expressed readiness, we invited her husband into our sessions. Together, we taught him specific manual drainage sequence tailored to Rita's needs. This not only provided her with relief from physical symptoms, but it also helped heal the deeper emotional wounds that extended beyond her scar tissue. By including her spouse, we fostered understanding, support, and connection, ultimately strengthening their relationship. By combining these various elements within my comprehensive program, I empowered Rita to reclaim her physical well-being, enhance her emotional resilience, and rebuild her self-esteem. The transformational impact of this approach helped her regain her confidence, re-engage in social activities, and embrace life with a renewed sense of vitality and joy. I am so proud of her, and I am so proud of the work that we did together. Whether you are a year or more post-treatment, or you just started treatment or are in the midst of it, whether you're experiencing a recurrence or a new cancer diagnosis, whether you've actually been diagnosed with lymphedema or you don't even know if you have it, your biggest cancer and lymphedema related challenges have solutions. I have helped my clients find them week by week, month by month, and honestly, in some cases, year by year. I love connecting with other human beings in this way, helping them heal into well-being, and in that process, deepening my own healing. The path to comfort and well-being in our bodies, finding home here, whether we are in pain or in shame or in love, is ongoing. I've come to believe there isn't a destination that we reach called balance or health. These are dynamic states, a series of successive approximations. The tightrope walker is never still, ever. Mostly, what I have learned and I'm still learning is that I need all of you. And probably because you're watching this video today, you need me too. My clients have felt their discomfort decrease, their pain lessen, their fatigue resolve, their anxiety transform. You don't need to be experiencing these challenges alone. As these issues melt away, and sometimes return and then melt away again, the journey becomes bearable. Sometimes, believe it or not, even pleasurable. We open up more to connection. Quality of life improves. I want this for you. I would love every one of you to consider spending 30 minutes with me. The manual drainage massage you just learned is beautiful. It is a beautiful first step, and it is not going to be enough. I have a gift for you. A powerful second step. A powerful second step. A 30-minute one-to-one Vital Lymph Solutions call with me. During this 30-minute call, you and I will assess your biggest cancer and lymphedema-related challenge together and lay out a plan for you to shift and solve that issue. You will walk away from that call with at least one strategy that you can begin to implement immediately to feel better. And if there's a way that we can do more work together, I will let you know what that would look like. And if there's someone else I can recommend that would be a better fit, I will get you that referral. If you are interested in taking the next step on your healing journey, go to my website if you're not already there watching this video, www.vanessahemingway.com. That's my name spelled VANESSAHEMINGWAY.com and book a Vital Lymph Solutions call with me. I hope you are getting a sense of how much lymphatic work can contribute to healing on the cancer journey. A 30-minute call is an opportunity for some individualized support. Everyone's lymphatic system, each person's cancer, each individual's journey benefits from some customization. Personalized solutions made in real time as challenges present themselves are invaluable. Take advantage of my years of expertise, please. This is work that I love. I am so certain this call will serve you and your healing. I honestly can't wait to sit down with you one-to-one and dive into your unique needs. Together, we'll explore where you are right now in lymphatic health and how I can help support you to feel better. You'll be amazed at how good you can feel, even by just taking this one second step, toward investing in your well-being. Head over to my website and book a Vital Lymph Solutions call at vanessahemingway.com. Thank you again so much for this privilege of teaching you today. I look forward to connecting with you and creating some individualized solutions. It is possible to have lymphedema and the life you love. It is possible to have cancer and the life you love.